the public sector is literally the engine that runs our national vehicle. And for those in the private sector, those in civil society, etc., we all require the public sector to function in a particular way so that all of us will have an opportunity to deliver on our various objectives. Whether you're applying for passports, you need electricity at home, many things that you do require a properly functioning public sector. We also do know that our public sector requires some improvement, and the exercise of improving our public sector is not new. It's something that we have tried a few times past, but it is important to improve and to consolidate it.
A draft National Public Sector Reform Strategy 2018 to 2023 was developed for a period of 5 years. The goal of the National Public Sector Reform Strategy 2018 to 2023 is to enhance service delivery to citizens and the private sector through this strategy. The government aims to establish open and impartial public sector at the central and local government levels, with citizens and the private sector at the core of the government concern. The draft National Public Sector Reform Strategy 2018 to 2023 has received both executive and cabinet approval. It's now set to be launched by the President of the Republic.
We must formally relate to our tertiary institutions because this is the cradle of research. They are to find out things for us, and they should not be on their own without relating to public sector. The attitude of the public sector in providing services to the private sector must change for better. We should consciously provide friendly service. The service should not be converted into frustration.
A measure of the private sector of Ghana will give you a worrying trajectory. There are businesses that do well under the NDC and businesses that do well under the MPP. That is not Ghanaian, and that is not the way to develop the entrepreneurship of our country.
Modernized and improved working conditions are key to increasing productivity in the public service. There is going to be a systematic review of public sector compensation in its entirety, with the institution of a suitable performance-based reward system to help guarantee increased productivity. The review will pursue opportunities for upgrading office space and provide the necessary tools and equipment to improve the work environment within the service.
So the Office of the Senior Presidential Advisor, then called Office of Senior Minister, and the Public Sector Reform Secretariat started to look for assistance. And we got to the World Bank and they offered us this assistance of 35 million, now cut to 32 million US dollars. So we decided to pilot some few institutions that we believe will be the starting point for our reform process.
We need to improve on the service we provide. We are called the public servants. We are called the Office of the Civil Service. The word service appears everywhere when you come to the public and the civil service. Do we ourselves realize that we are to serve both the public and the private sectors? Agree that without us, there will be no growth in the public sector. Without us, the civil service itself cannot function. And without us, the private sector, which is the engine of growth, cannot also perform its needed function. The only ministry in today's function is the Ministry of Monitoring and Evaluation. And this ministry has already indicated very clearly that they are in for good performance. They put up different shows to monitor the performance of the system. Results fairs. For the first time, we had a fair that depicted the total results of every ministry and agency in this country, so that you can, just going around an exhibition, know what is happening everywhere in this country.
I call it governance to the doorstep of people, with the Ministry of Local Government, decentralization and rural development. And therefore, we are taking steps to equip you to be able to do this effectively. We have today provided other equipment to the DVLA and to our mother institution, the Public Service Commission itself. And if you look at the type of equipment we project, it aims at aiding communication, which would enable you administer without necessarily moving to people physically. We are modernizing, we are digitalizing. And I think our Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development is key in our attempt to decentralize and get governance close to the people. We therefore here today to give you some equipment, and we will bring more to enable you coordinate administration effectively and electronically. So we are here to provide you with some laptops, with color printer, projector, and wireless router, so that it becomes easy for you to administer the decentralized system. I deem it a great pleasure to welcome you all to this conference on beneficial ownership disclosure in Ghana under the Open Government Partnership, popularly called OGP initiative. The theme for this conference is taking stock of progress made and challenges to government's effort at reducing corruption and improving domestic revenue mobilization. The OGP is a multi-stakeholder initiative that requires state civil society collaboration, which finds expression in its governance arrangements. At the global level, OGP is governed by a steering committee comprising reps of government and civil society organizations. This same structure is replicated in all OGP implementing countries such as Ghana. By signing on to the OGP, member countries are required to develop and implement action plans every 2 years. Ghana developed its own OGP in 2012, the first one, second 2015, 2017 respectively. The last one, the National Action Plan, was developed from my office in 2021 and is being implemented over a 2-year period. Some of the highlight commitments are the right to information, open parliament, and Ghana open data